Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari Gaura Hari. Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari Gaura Hari. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jayam Sri Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shatashri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Please all of you fold your hands. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from the book Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 2, text number 26. So if one of you need Bhagavad Gita, there also our Bhagavad Gita is there. There you can see. Atachainam nityajatam. Atachainam nityajatam. You have? Okay. You can take Bhagavad Gita from there also. You will see the book there. Achha, no, English you can see there. Or otherwise you can share with him. Hata chainam nityajatam nityam vamanyase vratam tathapi tvam mahabaho nainam shochitum arhasi. Atachainam 26. अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि. No, let's repeat, okay? अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि. One more time. अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि. Okay. Word to word translation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Atha, if however, cha also, enam, this soul, nitya jatham, always born, nityam, forever, va, either, manyase, you so think, mritam, dead, tatha api, still, tvam, you, mahabaho, O mighty armed one, no, never, enam, about the soul, so chitum, to lament, arhasi, desire. Translation. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament. O mighty armed puppet, there is always a class of philosophers, almost akin to the Buddhists, who do not believe in the separate existence of the soul beyond the body. When Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, it appears that such philosophers existed and they were known as the Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. Such philosophers maintain that life symptoms take place at a certain mature condition of material condition combination. The modern material scientists and material philosophers also think similarly. According to them, the body is a combination of physical elements, and at a certain stage, the life symptoms develop by interaction of the physical and chemical elements. The science of anthropology is based on this philosophy. Currently, many pseudo religions now becoming fashionable in America are also adhering to this philosophy, as are the nihilistic non devotional Buddhist sects. Even if Arjuna did not believe in the existence of the soul, as in the Vaibhashika philosophy, there would still have been no cause for lamentation. No one laments the loss of a certain bulk of chemicals and stops discharging his prescribed duty. On the other hand, in modern science and scientific warfare, so many tons of chemicals are wasted for achieving victory over the enemy. According to the Vaibhashika philosophy, the so called soul or Atma vanishes along with the deterioration of the body. So, in any case, whether Arjuna accepted the Vedic conclusion that there is an atomic soul or he did not believe in the existence of the soul, he had no reason to lament. According to this theory, since there are so many living entities generating out of matter every moment, and so many of them are being vanquished every moment, there is no need to grieve for such incidents. If there were no rebirth for the soul, Arjuna had no reason to be afraid of being affected by sinful reactions due to his killing his grandfather and teacher. But at the same time, Krishna sarcastically addressed Arjuna as Mahabahu, mighty armed, because he at least did not accept the theory of the Vaibhashikas, which leaves aside the Vedic wisdom. As a Kshatriya, Arjuna belonged to, to the Vedic culture and it behooved him to continue to follow its principles. Okay, we'll offer prayers now. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana. You want to recite? Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So welcome you all for the evening Bhagavad Gita session. Okay, so today we are discussing Shloka 26 from chapter 2. See, Bhagavad Gita is a very sweet subject. Okay, why? Because Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything comes. No, Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, Bhagavatam says, Janmadya Swataha, from whom everything comes, and who is the creator of everything, entire cosmos, both material and spiritual worlds. When he speaks, so he is speaking the truth. But when we are trying to understand the truth, what happens? Because of our imperfect senses, we don't understand things properly. Even we can't understand what the other person is speaking, what to speak of. No, that's why so many people do so much research, to figure out the things. But what happens? That research results in errors. And all of us know scientists have done big errors, big errors. What to speak of small errors. So, but when Krishna, who is the source of everything, when he is speaking, it is truth. So there's no doubt about it. But an intelligent person, what does he do? He accepts what Lord Krishna is saying and then he'll perfect his life. But that doesn't mean Krishna speaks illogically. That is also not there. Today I will tell you why Krishna is not speaking illogically also. Okay. So in Gita Mahatmya it is said, Mala nirmochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine Sakrit Gita Amrita Snanam Samsara Malanashanam. Just like every day we take bath, no, especially now we are in the winter season. So people hardly take bath. So when I was studying in my MTech, college students, they really don't take bath for a week. No, it's literally there. Why? Because in Kanpur, it's very cold. Very cold. North India especially very cold. I stayed in for many years. So it's very cold. But no, devotees they wake up early in the morning, take bath. But the students, they skip taking bath. No, I don't know how people really maintain their lives without taking bath. It's so body is so dirty. But what Gita Mahatma is saying, just like we take bath every day, like at least 2 times. So what will happen? The dirt on the body goes away. But similarly, the dirt in the mind, Sakrat Gita Amrita Sthana Samsara Malanasham, the dirt in the mind, the dirt of the material nature, how it will go? By taking bath in the Bhagavad Gita. If you don't take bath in the Bhagavad Gita every day, what will happen? The dirt that gets accumulated and accumulated and accumulated, and it becomes a big pile. I don't know how many have been to Delhi. If you go to Delhi, on the outskirts of the Delhi, there's a big, it's like a mountain of Garbage. Have any one of you seen? Huh? It's a mountain of garbage. One time I was going from Delhi to Kurukshetra or some other place. Like I was wondering, there are so many crows are hovering around that. I was thinking why the crows are there. Then I observed very carefully. Then I saw, "Arey, it's not an ordinary hill. It's a hill of garbage of coming from entire Delhi area. You see how much waste we do. No, that like our mind is filled with that much dirt. You can't even expect. Why? The dirt comes in the form of lust, envy, greed, so many things, and finally people are frustrated. But in spite of all those things, people don't want to take this message what Krishna is speaking. So this is really unfortunate. We have a solution, but people are not ready to take it. Simple thing, if you take bath every day in the Bhagavad Gita, what will happen? All the dirt will go away. It cleanses our consciousness, materially contaminated consciousness. So if you see Bhagavad Gita, like we are discussing about 2.26. So Krishna, like what happened, both Pandavas and Kauravas have assembled in the battlefield. Someone may say, Arey, how it is relevant to me in my life? But if you see, if you closely observe, every aspect of our life is answered in this Bhagavad Gita. Not only every aspect of our life, and every aspect of what is after life is also discussed. So both Pandavas and Kauravas assembled in the battlefield, and Arjuna requested Krishna to take him to the middle of the battlefield. And what happened? And when he saw Kauravas, and especially his grandfather Bhishma, his relatives Duryodhana, Dushasana, and all the other brothers and relatives, and his teacher Dronacharya, so many other people who are very closely related to him. And he got bewildered. I don't want to fight anymore, Krishna. I came here for the purpose of fighting, but I will not fight. So he was confused and his Gandhi was slipped from his hand. And he gave so many reasons why he don't want to fight. But finally got confused and he said, with the help of my mind, I will not be able to solve this confusion. What he decided? With the help of my mind, I will not be able to solve the confusion. So, oh Krishna, until now I was speaking you as my friend, I will surrender to you. Hmm? So he accepted Krishna as a spiritual master and Krishna started speaking. And Krishna chastised Arjuna left and right. You fool, you are speaking like a pandita, but you are a fool. So and then Krishna explained when someone is in a confusion, what we should do? We should take shelter of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, what we are reading Bhagavad Gita as it is not different. Same thing. Just like whatever the result Arjuna has received, we will also receive. So Arjuna's confusion was gone after completing Bhagavad Gita. So similarly our confusion will also go. So Krishna, so when one is in confusion, we should go to the basics. What is the basic? Who am I? The problem is people don't know who am I. So Krishna started the subject matter from there. What is that? And he started Dehi nosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. He started with that. Who are you? Who are all these people? Natve vaham jatu nasham nattam neme janadipa. You are a soul, part and parcel of me, and there are also souls, individual soul, part and parcel of me. So you see, so one may think that how our confusions will go away from this. But if you very carefully see, our confusions will go away when we start from the basic that who am I. So Krishna exactly did that. If one is in distress, first tell him the subject of the soul and slowly tell the other concept. That's why Krishna slowly builds up this Bhagavad Gita from this concept that who are we. So we are all in the verge of the battlefield. See what happens in the battlefield? Everyone is about to die. There's no guarantee one who goes to the battlefield, one will come back. All of you are seeing, right? That Ukraine and Russia were is going that how many people are dying, how many soldiers have been dying, huh? So if you see in this shloka, like what is this section? Krishna is trying to explain to Arjuna different angles. Oh Arjuna, you don't want to fight. But these are the things Krishna is trying. You see, Krishna, just like Hitler, or any autocrat, what happens? He forces, you have to do this. If you don't do this, I will punish you. You are gone. But Krishna, being the supreme personality of God and supreme controller, but he is not forcing Arjuna. We have to do this only. What he is saying? He's giving, he's trying to make Arjuna understand what is the thing. Like that's why in previous all these slokas, Krishna explained about the soul. Who is the, what is the soul, what are the properties of the soul, how soul looks, inconceivable and size, so many things are there, and it won't be killed. Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha. It won't be killed by any of the astra and shastra. But in this now, in this sloka, what Krishna is saying, okay, forget about it, whether you believe the soul exists or not. But what is saying, even if you don't believe the soul exists, and you still have no reason to lament. Why? Because then Krishna is bringing the concept of philosophy who don't accept the existence of the soul. Exactly the modern people. Exactly the modern people, they don't say there is atheism. They say, first of all, no soul, no God, nothing. Only this body exists. After this body, everything is destroyed. You see? So that's why you see Krishna, even though he spoke 5000 years ago, but exactly talking about the situation, what is happening right now. So you see, Bhagavad Gita is not, if someone feels Bhagavad Gita is irrelevant, that is their foolishness. So that's why we need a teacher to make us understand Bhagavad Gita. Just like we learn any other subject by approaching a teacher, by going to a school. So ISKCON is a spiritual school where Bhagavad Gita is taught. It's a spiritual education. So we just have to come, learn, and then perfect our lives. So Krishna is not forcing. Krishna is not forcing Arjuna, you have to do this only. So it's very interesting how Krishna is bringing the concept of philosophies who don't accept soul exists. So who don't accept the existence of the soul. No, in like recently I was hearing, like we had a one Prabhuji who came here, who was on the Gita Jayanti, was explaining, no, one devotee. What happened? He was they went for a yatra, and then and finally one Maharaj told, this is so deep now, waves are so intense, please call everyone back. And then what happened, one devotee was thinking, I know swimming and I'm a very expert swimmer. So what happened, he went inside and devotees are watching. He went inside and finally, so and he understood the intensity of the waves, and he was not able to swim, and then finally he raised his hands. So everyone is thinking, Hari bol, Hari bol. But later they understood the problem, and someone sent a lifeguard and then brought him back. And when he was brought back, so what happened? When he was brought back, then finally he was saved. Then he gave some donation, some money to that lifeguard. He gave how much? 150 rupees. So, but at least that Prabhuji is saying, why are you giving only this much amount? He saved your life. So this body costs only 150 rupees. Of course, now if we say because of the recession or other things, the prices of the chemicals have increased. So body cost, like if you see, so I was doing some little bit such that what are all chemicals are there in the body. So body is extraordinarily complex machine, but what are all the chemicals are there? Oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, calcium, phosphorus, and like other chemicals like sulfur, potassium, sodium, chlorine, magnesium. So if you see, right, so if you accept the modern philosophy, this body is made up of chemicals. So Krishna is bringing this concept. What is bringing? Okay, even if you don't accept that soul exists, so this, then what does this body? Body is made up of chemicals only. What exactly our modern people feel? So since this body is a machine made up of so many chemicals, so that devotee exactly did. Since this is made of chemicals, if you calculate the cost of each of the chemicals within the body, this body will not cost more than 500 as per the current cost also, maybe 1000 rupees. But for this 1000 rupees cost of the body, why people are worrying so much? That's what Krishna is telling. So in COVID, so many people died. So many people died. But if this cost only 1,000 rupees, let 1,000 rupees go away. What is the problem? What is the problem? Life is made from chemicals only. The understanding is that Krishna is telling Arjuna, oh, even if you accept that life is coming from chemicals, what is the worry? Anyone worries like you have a big bottle of chemical. If by any chance that bottle spills, no bottle that cap gets loosened and bottle spills and all the chemical give away. Will you worry? No one worries. They will think I will get another bottle of chemicals. But why people are lamenting? In the COVID, everyone is thinking, oh, I have to save my life, I have to save my life. So the thing is, Krishna is telling to Arjuna that exactly what people think. They are thinking that we are not the soul, we are body. Body is made up of chemicals. If it is a chemicals, why you have to worry? Let the chemicals go. We will get another set of chemicals. You see how foolish it is. If it body is only made of chemicals, when our relatives die, when our close members die, why we have to worry? Just like if a big dabba of chemicals is getting lost, anyone worries? No one worries. They will get another dabba. So if we are thinking that body is made up of chemicals only, and if our close relatives are dying, so what is the point of lamenting? You see, Krishna suddenly changes the topic. He was telling until this section, he's telling soul exists, soul properties. Now he's saying even if you don't accept this existence of the soul, better there's no reason for you to lament. But you see, all people they lament, oh my family members have died. But you foolishly you are thinking that if it is body made up of chemicals, anyone laments for that. No. So that means we are not this body. You are not this body. There is something beyond the body. That's what Krishna is bringing, telling to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, even if you accept this, there is no reason for you to learn. But what is the point Krishna is trying? Fight. You are telling so many reasons that you don't want to fight, but fight. There is no reason for you to lament. So, uh, so basically, Krishna Prabhupada is talking about one point. There is always a class of philosophers. What is philosophy? No, Bhagavad Gita is also dealing with philosophy. What is philosophy? So I was just searching what is the dictionary meaning. So it said philosophy is an activity people undertake when they seek to understand fundamental truths about themselves, the world in which they live, and their relationships to the world and to each other. But in short, to say, philosophy deals with this subject: who am I? Why am I here? What I am doing, supposed to do here? And then who is God? And then like those questions, philosophy. So Prabhupada is telling even at the time of Krishna, there are philosophers like who are the philosophers? Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. So those are the philosophers. They don't accept the existence of the soul. So Prabhupada is telling the point that not only now, even at the time of Krishna also, there are the philosophers who don't accept the existence of the soul. So modern, so you don't say I am so innovative that I have came up with some new philosophy that no soul exists, only body exists. So Prabhupada is telling even at the time of Krishna also those are there. Like Buddhism is there. Buddhism also says Shunyavad. What is Shunyavad? Like Prabhupada Pranam Mantra is a Nirvishesha Shunyavad. So Shunyavad means they think everything will become zero after death. So if everything will become zero, why are you lamenting? Why are you lamenting for just this bag of chemicals if everything will become zero? For zero, anyone worries? No one worries. so, so Prabhupada is condemning. Krishna is condemning in this shloka. Last line is saying, at least Arjuna, I don't expect you to accept this philosophy. That's why Krishna addressed Arjuna as Mahabaho. So at least I am not expecting that you accept this kind of philosophy where soul doesn't exist. So in our Prabhupada has written one book, no, life comes from life. Life comes from life. So in this section, in this purport, indirectly what Krishna is telling that people are thinking that life comes from matter. If you see purport, you see at a certain stage the life symptoms develop by interaction of the physical and chemical elements. So that's why Prabhupada has written this book, life comes from life. So but here what people are thinking, life comes from matter. So if you think at a certain point of time, by certain combination of chemicals, life comes. Now one time a big conference happened. His name is Dr. Stanley Miller. He was a great Nobel laureate. He got a Nobel Prize also. Stanley Miller was a great scientist at that point of time. He was doing some research in chemical, and he also proposed this theory that life comes from matter, and he has he was supporting Darwin's theory. So, and then in that entire conference, one of our Prabhupada disciples, his name is His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami. His name at the time was T.D. Singh. He has done a PhD in chemistry. So he was hearing, and everything. And after the completion of that conference, okay, you are saying this body is made of chemicals, and at a certain point of time, the no by a certain combination of the chemicals, life comes. So now I will give you all those chemicals. So what you do? You please take the chemicals and generate life. So Dr. Stanley Miller was faced with such question for the first time, and he said, I don't know. And he's such a big scientist. He's saying that life comes from matter, and then challenge was, I will give you all the chemicals. I will sponsor the project. Just like in all the IITs, all the institutes, there's a sponsorship projects will be there. So he said, I will sponsor. I will give you all the chemicals. Why don't you generate life? So he said, that question I don't know. So he felt ashamed actually to know. So scientists speak big theories, but when they are challenged, can you produce life? No, they can't produce. So Krishna is bringing this concept. There are philosophers, there are people who accept that there is no existence of the soul. So you see how it is relevant even now also this shloka. How Bhagavad Gita shloka is relevant, we can see even where we are in the 21st century, where we are thinking that soul doesn't exist, and Krishna is speaking about that. But even now also, it's an open challenge to any of the scientists, any person in this world. We will give you chemicals, please produce life. What? Forget about producing this complex human machine. No, Bhagavad Gita also says this human body is a any species is a machine like yantra rudane maya ishvara sarvabhutana hridesha arjuna tishtati brahmyam sarvabhutani yantra rudane maya. Krishna is addressing this body as a machine. So it's an open challenge even today also. We will give you all set of chemicals, please produce life. What? Forget about producing human being, produce small ant. There is one cellular organism is there, I forgot the name. E. coli. E. coli is a single cellular organism. So our challenge is, I will give you all chemicals. Please produce that organism which is of only one cell. Of course, in our human body, trillions and trillions of cells are there. We are not saying you produce only one organism with one cell, that is E. coli. But if you study the structure of the E. coli, it has a complex mechanism of how that is moving forward. It has a complex rotational mechanics is there. Like something is rotating and then that is pushing ahead. So just like we study in physics, right? so but no one accepts this challenge, and people are speaking theories, but when they are challenged, they raise their hands. We don't know. So Krishna is telling, you see, so Bhagavad Gita is relevant now also. So you see, simple cow, what does it do? It takes grass and it produces the milk. Now you see, right, in the entire market, what the milk we get is fully polluted milk. If you do know or not, no, I have just worked in the dairy industry for some time. So fully polluted milk. But our thing is simple grass. Can you do any? Is there any machine that can take grass and then produce milk? No. But cow is doing that. But of course, we are killing cows left and right. That is so bad. So body is not this life doesn't come from matter. Prabhupada that's why he has written life comes from life. Prabhupada gives very simple analogy. But why it doesn't fit to the people's mind? Because it shows that they are really unintelligent, they are really ignorant. Prabhupada gives simple example. Have you seen lemon tree? Lemon tree? These days, people don't even know from where milk comes, from where the lemons come. They only know big basket. They only know Ratnadin. From there only all things are coming. But if you see, no, I'm from a village. We've seen so many plants, trees. No lemon tree. If you see lemon tree, it gives so many lemons. And from each lemon, what do we get? Lemon juice. It is citric acid. From where citric acid is coming? Citric acid is coming from the tree. And tree, it has a life. It has a soul. Even biologists like Jagdish Chandra Bose have proved that. Recently I went to this place. What is place? Devarayana Durga. Some few months back. I saw for the first time. Touch me not plant. I just experimented. When you touched it, it's really. So anyone feels, do you feel that it doesn't have a consciousness? When if it doesn't have consciousness, you bring a robot and then you try to touch it, what it will do? It can't do anything. Of course, if it is not written in the program, it can't do anything. But you see, touch me not, no one has written program, but it has a program. What program it has? Anyone touches, immediately you no, you withdraw yourself. That's why plant name is called touch me not plant. You see, simple. So life comes from life. Have you ever seen any seeds sprouting from chemicals? And then even now also, from how do you grow any vegetables or fruits or grains? We take the seeds from previous harvesting. If you know the agriculture, the farmer, what does he do? He will take a best of the seeds and keep it. And then he keep it in his store, and then he uses the same for the next crop. But have you ever seen from nowhere it happened that it came out? No. You see, from all these things, what it appears, people are really unintelligent. They are not able to accept that. But Krishna is telling logically, oh Arjuna, even if you don't accept, there's no reason for you to lament. So, a simple thing, COVID time, doctors are observing. No, recently my father also, no, he left his body. No, so patient is admitted into the hospital. They are observing their heartbeat is going down. They are not able to take oxygen. They are observing. They have big machines to observe everything, but they are not able to control the phenomena. If they are able to control the phenomena, they can save the patient. But how many COVID in the COVID time? How many people have lost their lives? We may observe the phenomena, but we cannot recreate that process. No, even simple creating child also. Nowadays, though, so many hospitals are there, artificial ways, but still you cannot create the child. Husband and wife, no. How many people, how many couples, they don't have children? And so many hospitals, even here in this apartment also there is one hospital. You see, creating only until and unless soul enters the body, what happens? Then only life comes. Otherwise, no life. It's an open challenge. Okay. So, Prabhupada is also talking about here, like, anthropology. The science of anthropology is based on this philosophy. So, what is this philosophy? Soul doesn't exist. So, anthropology. So, what is this? Study of the origin and development of human societies and culture. So, you see, so much research happens. What is the origin of our life? No, especially, Darwin. So what he did, he traveled across and he observed the species, and then he tried to come up with theory, Darwin theory. Even now, unfortunately, the same theory is taught in the schools. It is still theory, but still people accept it as a fact. You see, we blindly accept the scientists without questioning them. But when the point of question of Krishna comes, Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita, then what do we say? Oh, don't be a blind follower. So this is really unfortunate. So, Darwin's theory also, they don't believe in the soul. If you see the entire process, they say how the species evolved from one species to other species. But the question is, can you replicate that process, like from monkey to ape and then human? Can you replicate that? Have you seen anywhere it's happening? No. But still we accept that theory. No, there is a systematic propaganda in the society to eliminate the God from the lives of the people. The more you disconnect God from the lives of the people, the more frustrated they will be. In Bhagavatam, there is a wonderful shloka comes. Bhayam dvitiya tasyat vipareryo asmriti. What is the reason for the fear? As soon as when you disconnect God from our lives, what will happen? Immediately fear comes. And it is true. It is true. So many people, they are fearful. We interact with so many people. We teach Bhagavad Gita. They express we have fear about so many things. People are fearful. But as soon as you see, there is a systematic propaganda in the society that no soul exists, no God exists. So when you believe that there is no soul exists and only this body is there, what immediately the effect of this? The effect of that is people think only I have this life, I have to enjoy to the best of my capability. That's why people work very hard, think that I don't have money. If I don't have money, how can I enjoy? So let me work and get the resources and enjoy to the fullest extent. And there are some people, bechara, they can't, and that's why what do? They rob, they steal, they do because there's no God who is watching. No one is watching. This means I can do anything. You see, finally, this theory what Krishna is talking about here, what he is telling to Arjuna, finally lands up here. I can do anything. Just do it. What? Just do it. So this is such a nonsense theory that's why Krishna is explaining about this theory and then telling, oh, Arjuna, at least I am not expecting you to that you accept this theory, but is giving logic. You see, Krishna is not an autocrat. He is explaining the situation from all angles. First he explained the situation from a perspective of soul. Now he is explaining the same situation from the perspective of life coming from matter, that no concept of the soul. But whether you accept this angle or that angle, what is my perspective? You have to fight, because if you accept the soul exists, Natvevaham Jatunasham Natvam Neme Janadipa. None of these soldiers, your grandfather Bhishma, your teacher Drona, they will not die, because soul transmigrates from one body to other body. This perspective Krishna gave. Now Krishna is telling, even if you accept there is no soul, only body exists. No problem. I said, na, if dabba of chemicals are there, it is lost. Who worries? No one worries. So there is no reason, because anyhow it is a chemical only. So why are you worrying so much? So do what I am saying. So he's recommending, he's not forcing, but he's suggesting. So this is how Krishna. So it is such a wonderful thing. We also have to learn in our lives. We have to, if we want to convince the people, we have to explain different perspectives of same situation. Then we should give a choice, because ultimately every jiva has a free will. We can't force. By force you can bring the donkey or a horse to the place where grass is there, but you cannot force the horse to eat that grass. So similarly, so education is like that, spiritual education or any education. We are telling that, oh, you are like this, so this is how it has to be seen. Now it's up to the jiva, condition, living entity, up to him whether he chooses this path or not. We see so many people come in contact and then they leave, they will come back again. It happens. But the thing is, one who is an intelligent person, what does he do? He accepts what Krishna is saying. That's why Bhagavatam says, Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yajnai Sankirtana Praya Rajanti Sumedasat. The most intelligent person, what does he do in the Kali Yuga? He participates in the Sankirtana Yajna, chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. If one is a really intelligent person, he participates in this. But we have a great philosophy also to tax our brain. So tax your brain with Bhagavad Gita and chant holy names, then our life will be perfect. Don't waste time. Time, one moment wasted will not come back. We should utilize our energy, our time, our wealth, our senses, everything in the service of the Lord. So tax our brain with Bhagavad Gita and then chant holy names and come in the association of devotees. Then what will happen? You will understand things in reality. Everything will, you can see. So things will, like now things are in darkness, but when you learn Bhagavad Gita, when you chant the holy names, You see things in reality. You will see everything. Oh, how wonderfully nature is working. How behind everyone, every person's behavior, reaction, how laws of karma are working, how is forced by the laws of nature, and how a devotee is serving Krishna. So you will see all things in clarity. So now we don't have clarity. Actually, we don't have clarity. Who am I? Why I am existing? So, but when you learn Bhagavad Gita, all the clarity will come. And Krishna is giving very logically arguments for us to be convinced about existence of the soul, existence of the God, and the much more beyond that. Okay, so please take this message seriously and chant holy names every day, because without chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even if you want to enter, you cannot understand the meaning of this message. Chant Hare Krishna, learn Bhagavad Gita, please come regularly and make yourself perfect. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Any questions or comments?
Thank you for the class, Prabhuji. It was excellent class. And you told Prabhuji like Nobel laureate opposite
Stanley Miller. Huh.
there is no soul, only body. Actually, when we come to that pure only in devotion line itself, we will understand that soul is there. Outsiders, or suppose how much they may be learned like Nobel laureate, they can't accept. Is it because of their false ego, or is it because of their interest towards sadhana or what?
So it is basically because they don't want to accept God. Actually, whoever borns in this world, right, they definitely comes across the concept of the God. But they'll say, why I have to accept God? Why? I am not seeing God. Of course, that false ego is also there. Why I have to accept someone else? Let me be the boss. Let me be the boss. See here, everyone, every jiva wants to be the boss. Here, no one wants to be the servant. You see, everyone wants to be the boss. Huh? That's why in office also they fight. Why I did not get promotion? Huh? In home, why are you not listening to me? In the society, huh? Everyone wants to be a boss. But one more thing also, if you accept God, then you have to follow His laws. But no one wants to follow anyone's laws. We want to be independent. But the thing is, Shastra says we can be really be independent when we follow God. Otherwise, actually, we are thinking we are so-called independent, but we are actually becoming more and more dependent. Simple example, like woman wants to be independent. No, see, just because of that liberalization and then equality, what happened? Finally, women are being exploited. Is it or not? Women are being exploited like anything. So those who are exploited also, those who are exploiting also, both of them are unhappy. But if you simply accept what God is saying, life will be blissful. But we don't want to accept. Ego is there, enviousness towards God is there. Why God alone enjoys? Let me also enjoy. Let me be the center. Like so many people have tried, Hitler, Napoleon, Bonaparte, and so many others have tried to conquer the entire kingdom and keep that under their control. Baba, so if you understand, nothing belongs to you here in this material world. Even if you want to conquer everything and keep under your control, you can't be there forever in this world. So that's why Bhagavad Gita makes you very light. You will understand things in clear. Even if I lose something, I don't have any worry because nothing belongs to me. But if you don't learn Bhagavad Gita, what will happen even for small things? So much, huh? Frustration, so much that is there. So better take this message and use our life in this. Okay, Krishna consciousness. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.